Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, lots of things happening, that's for sure. Right? That's right. It's a beautiful day, and the solar systems are all doing good, of course. And the volcano is erupting again, right about out there at the tip of my finger. I've been looking to see if I could see any of the emission clouds from it, but I don't think I can right now. But it's bubbling out there, lava flowing again. But the current eruption is not threatening any homes or anything right now. It's in a very rural area of Volcanoes National Park, so we hope it just stays there. And over the past couple days, we had some major flooding on the other side of the island, but right here, everything's been pretty good. A few showers, but nothing major. Just a normal day right here. No one seems to be too worried about anything. And living an off-grid life, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I always beat the drum on the things that I have always considered over the past 30 years is food, water, and shelter, and everything after that, and you're golden, right? Plenty of food, plenty of water, and shelter. So when I was in my 30s and I first started living off-grid and ran out of the city to live in a very rural area, that's all I kept saying: food, water, and shelter, food, water, and shelter. Everything after that is gravy. I'm going to add one more thing to that now. And it's something that I never used to say when I was younger and much stronger, and it just didn't come into the equation. But that's health as well, living off-grid. And the older you get, that plays more of a role into your equation. So for a lot of you living off the beaten path like I do and like I have over the past 30 years, you know what I'm talking about. The older you get, you think about that a lot more, and then maybe you start to have some health issues and the logistics when you're living way out in the boonies of how to keep some of your health care in place. In the mountains, for example, 911 could get to me where I was living, a few months out of the year, but many months out of the year. My place was not really accessible. I would be snowed in. So no emergency vehicles could get out there to me if I needed them. I never ever did have to call 911. But like I said, it would have only been effective maybe in the summer months. And out here, this is a little easier in and out year round. But still, for the people that are out here, when they call 911 for any kind of an emergency, it's going to take a long while for help to get to you. It will get to you out here eventually if you know where you are and can tell them where you are. So in the mountain experience, even if you needed some kind of medical attention, you were a very long way away from it. So, we had a little medical clinic in the mountains, but if you needed anything more, it was at least an hour's drive to the nearest hospital. And it was probably an hour's drive no matter what or where you were living just to get to the little clinic. So you were hours away from any kind of real help if you needed it. And out here, it's much the same way. I mean, it's going to take them a long while to get out to you and a long while to get you to any kind of real help. So yeah, those things I think need to be factored into the equation. Like I said, though, when you're young and invincible, that doesn't play into the equation. It never really did for me. I one time needed 911 in the mountains. Of course, my place was inaccessible. I was snowed in. I had to call a friend. They got as close as they could to me, and I had to walk out myself down to meet them to where they could get me to the local clinic, and the local clinic quickly dispatched me to the nearest city with a hospital. So, it took hours to get me to where I needed to be. So Uh, yeah, you got to figure those things into the equation, I think. And some of you guys I know I've talked with on this channel, you're way, way out in the boonies as well, so you know what I'm talking about. So you have to have some kind of a contingency plan to deal with a lot of different emergencies that might arise in your area. And in the mountains, I knew a lot of old guys that they were never go to a doctor, no matter what. It didn't matter. Kicked in the head by a horse, broken bones, never go to a doctor. And even one of my best friends, one time, just carrying wood from his wood pile back to his cabin, fell down, busted a bunch of ribs and who knows what else. Tried to implore him to go to a doctor. Nope. Stubborn old guy, wouldn't go to a doctor. Found him dead in his cabin the next morning. Obviously, it bled out from some internal injury. And I know a lot of people out here, they're the same way, never go to a doctor under any circumstances. I'm not quite that way. I will go to a doctor if I need to. But it takes a little moving around the system to get me to get there. And out here, you know, I'm on the big island of Hawaii, and that's considered an outlying island. All the major medical stuff is on a different island, being Oahu, Honolulu. That's where there's a major medical infrastructure. There's a lot of services not even available out here. There's more and more over time, but still a lot of things that you might need are not even accessible. And that was the same in the Colorado mountains. I mean, you were a very long way away if you needed something special. So, you know, for those of you considering going off grid and going way out into the boonies, yeah, food, water, shelter, yeah, for sure. And yeah, I have to throw in the health aspect to it these days. You should be considering that if you have any kind of needs. And you'll have to assess that for yourself, right? So besides floods, hurricanes, volcanoes, you know, wherever you live, there's always things that you're going to have to deal with the natural world, and then consider your health issues as well if you have any, or be thinking about the future as well. You just never know what's going to happen, right? I'm not saying live in fear at all, but take it from me, the older you get, some of these other things start to come into play. Yeah, so right over there, about 15 miles, got lava running around a little bit. Not worried at this point. It's just my food for thought for the day, you guys. And look at me out here right now, throwing caution to the wind. I don't even have my SPF shirt on. But I better get back in the shade. I'm going to show you a little bit more about working the logistics of getting the health care you might possibly need. I am needing a little bit more lately, and it's creating some logistical challenges. And yeah, I'll show you a little bit more of that as time goes by here. But all my solar systems are looking good, so I can relax into that. Plenty of power, plenty of rain, plenty of water. It's just that fourth thing I've had to add to the contingency now, causing me to navigate a lot more than I've ever had to. Take care, everybody. Aloha. The adventure continues. Don't stress out, P. Hey, P. Don't worry about anything. I don't think she's worried. No. Yeah, all I ever really wanted to talk about is solar and solar stuff. But you got to adjust sometimes. So keep showing you every little thing to consider. So for those of you that are still here, let me know how you might be dealing with this fourth addition to the equation to food, water, and shelter. Yeah, I'm adding healthcare into that now. I'll be curious how you guys are navigating that over time.